Welcome to the best of Exploring Idaho. When we decided to put together a program showing the best of Idaho, we thought it would be simple to pick out those few special stories. But as we looked back over the past year of Exploring Idaho, we found the task to be much more complicated. For instance, do you know in the last year, we've traveled more than 25,000 miles videotaping stories about Idaho. We've run down rivers, hiked up mountains, met a lot of unique people, and examined Idaho's rich history. Needless to say, there's a lot to choose from. So with all that in mind, we decided to sort our stories into 4 categories, showing off Idaho's beauty in the 4 seasons. From the bright blossoms of spring wildflowers, to the lazy days of a summer sand dune, to the brief show of fall leaves, to the white serenity of a winter snowfall, Idaho's distinct seasons are nothing short of miraculous. The miracle begins each year high in Idaho's mountains. That's where, drop by tiny drop, winter gives way to spring. High in the Selkirk Mountains of North Idaho, a change is taking place. Warmer spring days are wearing away at this year's generous snowpack. It doesn't take long before those drops become trickles. And then small streams, all gathering strength and speed on the way down the mountains to the Kootenai River Valley. Smith Falls is unmarked, and not everyone gets a chance to see it. The owners like it that way since it sits on private property. But if you ask and get permission to walk to the falls, you'll find a hidden treasure. Most other waterfalls in Idaho are on public land. One that anyone can walk to, the 70-foot-tall Copper Creek Falls. A well-marked trail system guides the way. The rumble in the distance lets you know when you're near. And then, like a giant natural shower, Copper Creek Falls sprays down water. Seems inviting, but you probably wouldn't jump in. This water is just a step away from snow. But look all you like. Can you see the rainbow? On a sunny day, it's hard to imagine anything more beautiful in the world. There are dozens of magnificent waterfalls scattered across North Idaho, but you need good timing to see them. The waterfalls are at their peak during the few short weeks of early spring.
This is really the best time to be here. It's like you're almost in heaven. I mean, the color here, the sounds and the birds and so on, it's just wonderful.
A walk through the Camas Prairie at sunrise inspires Steve Bly to great works.
Oh, there's a real pretty Camas right here. Whew, gorgeous. This is really pretty right here.
As a professional outdoor photographer, Steve captures the beauty of Idaho. His only boss is Mother Nature.
It's amazing because I, never was good at drawing or art or anything like that. And, it just happened. I thank God for it.
What's happened ever since, the capture of special moments on film. Steve's photographs appear on the covers of magazines, postcards, in brochures, and many have won awards. But for all his travels, Steve says the Camas Prairie remains one of his favorite places, with its purple blooms of camas lilies, red flowers of sourdock, and its majestic backdrop, the Soldier Mountains.
One of the reasons that I enjoy photography so much is that it's afforded me to see the world a lot more and to photograph the world. But the one thing that is very special, that Idaho is still the most beautiful place that I've photographed.
This spring, the wildflower season was exceptionally colorful, and not just on the Camas Prairie, but in desolate places where you would never expect such delicate plants to survive. In the harsh, desolate environment of craters of the moon, monoliths of lava spear the sky. Dead, twisted branches suggest a barren place, and ropes of lava soak heat from the sun. At first look, it's as lifeless as the moon itself.
An early visitor to the monument, he happened to be a minister. He thought it would be a garden fit for the devil himself, so he named it Devil's Orchard.
But even in the Devil's Orchard, hellish landscapes reveal bright surprises, like blooms of yellow in a field of black, carpets of fuchsia on a lava hillside, and white flowers rooted in rock.
And that's the bitterroot. All you've got is the stem with the blossom sticking up out of the cinders.
Everything that grows here on the monument has to have a specific adaptation for it to survive.
Ranger Paul Allen shows visitors how life on the lava requires persistence.
This plant will come back next year, and they have a couple of interesting adaptations that make it so they can survive. That's the protective coating, and then you break it. And beneath that, you'll see the green of the leaf. You can see that the branches here on them are just extremely flexible. That's because the wind blows here every day, and it blows hard every day.
Visitor Sandra Kramer is from California.
I can't believe it. There's no dirt. There's just rocks.
This is her first visit to Craters of the Moon.
Actually, a little bee in there.
It's nothing like she expected.
I never imagined this was Idaho. I mean, I thought they grew potatoes out here. I didn't know it was supposed to be beautiful.
With sights like the bright red of this Indian paintbrush and lush fern that grows in a crack, the plants at Craters of the Moon prove that nature is full of surprises. So beautiful, and all made possible by Idaho's most precious resource, its water.
All of a sudden you come to this gash in the earth and there's this spectacular canyon down there that goes on forever, it seems.
It took millions of years for the Owyhee River to cut through its sheer rock walls. It will take us just 6 days to float this scenic and remote stretch of river.
It's so gorgeous here. You know, it's hard to describe, and it's so pristine.
I love the rock walls and the spires. And where the canyon really deepens out. It's like, I just think it's so majestic. It's really, really powerful. I really feel like a very small thing here. I feel small, but it also makes you feel part of it all, which is pretty nice.
We trust a man that we've never met before, have known for about, a day.
But our lead guide, Joe Tonsmeyer, knows this river like an old friend. A friend with many moods.
The main thing, you're looking for a run. And then you're evaluating the risk when you're looking at a rapid, like what happens if somebody dumps here? Can somebody swim that?
Everything is pumping through your body and you're like, I don't know what's going to happen next, I'm just going to go.
It takes sure strokes to cut through a maze of obstacles. We scrape past rocks the size of houses.
You kind of look down and see where the main channel is going, and instead of muscling your way through, try and ride out the current.
And everyone makes it out the other end, where the mood swings back to calm water and our day winds to an end. In the canyon, there are no sunsets, just lingering rays of light before the sun dips below the canyon rim and the moon takes over for the night.
River rafting is definitely a sign of spring in Idaho and lasts well through the summer. Another sure sign of spring, rocks, rolls, and rumbles its way through North Idaho. Each year, the University of Idaho campus lights up with the Lionel Hampton Jazz Festival. And it's more than just a concert. It's an education taught by legendary greats of jazz.
The king of the vibraphone. He might as well be called the king of the Palouse, because in this part of Idaho, Lionel Hampton is dearly loved for the music he makes, and for the fact that he makes Moscow the jazz capital of the world for one legend-filled week each year. For the past 28 years, jazz greats have been migrating to the University of Idaho for this festival.
World-class artists in every manner. I mean, if you take a look at the lineup for this festival, it's never been done anyplace else.
Giving some 12,000 young musicians a chance to rub shoulders with Hampton and his friends. Friends like Gene Harris. He's called the churchiest pianist in jazz. They say he turns a keyboard into an altar for preaching the blues. Idaho is lucky to call this blues man from Boise one of its own.
Just being here with the grand old man, Lionel Hampton, you know, it's just unbelievable to see him go on and on and on.
Even at 85, Lionel Hampton doesn't miss a session. His amazing talent was first discovered by Louis Armstrong back in 1930, and soon after, he helped make the Benny Goodman Quartet legendary. In the 40s, he formed his own band and found fame with classic songs like Sunny Side of the Street and Central Avenue Breakdown.
Help me welcome my friend and yours, Dr. Lionel Hampton!
It's difficult in a few words to say what Lionel has done. We who are alive now and are able to see him could compare ourselves to people who were alive and saw Beethoven or Brahms or Bach in their day.
You can attend any of the concerts or performances at the Jazz Festival, and at the end of the show, we'll tell you how to get more information about tickets. The cool days of spring will soon warm into the long days of summer. Coming up next on the Best of Exploring Idaho, the season of sun. And later, fall is the season of thanks for Idaho's tribes of Native Americans. Plus, a blanket of snow makes our state a whole new place to explore. There's something for everyone. The Best of Exploring Idaho will be right back. Summer, time to get out of the house and into the hills, on horseback, on mountain bike, or just a regular hike. Whatever you choose, there's plenty of fun during the season of sun. Welcome back to the Best of Exploring Idaho. Remember when you were a kid and you counted down the days until summer arrived? It seemed the best season of the year. No school, no demands, just 3 solid months of fun. Well, some lucky Idaho kids got to spend not just a lot of time out in the sun, but some time exploring one of Idaho's age-old pastimes, panning for gold.
Gold fever's real. It's a real thing. And I know it. My wife knows it. Let's see if we can find some gold here. A lot of people will ask, well, where do you go to find gold? First place you're going to go is someplace where somebody already found it. You're guaranteed that there's going to still be some there. The old-timers only got 50% of the gold, that there's still half as much as they pulled out still out here in the mountains.
They didn't even scratch the surface. Didn't even scratch the surface.
The kids absolutely love it. Just being out here and splashing around in the water. I kind of liken it to fishing. You never know what you're going to find.
I already see one.
Every pan's got something different in it.
One little color there. You see how it's just yellow? There isn't anything else in the pan that color. The yellow stuff is definitely gold, and most everything else is, everything else isn't.
Gold.
Full of water, there you go. Flatten it out a little bit, back to you, there you go, good. Oh, look at that, oh, look at that, hey. Wait a minute, look at this. There's one there, another one there. You got some nice little pieces in there. That's a good pan. All right, good job.
That's very good color.
It's addictive. I want to see if I can find one maybe a little bit bigger or find one to match it.
7 years ago, I found the nugget that I wear as an earring, and I'm still looking for the match set.
What else could a kid ask for? Water, mud, and sun all wrapped up into a hobby even their parents can enjoy. Maybe it was an experience like that that shaped the future of the man you're about to meet in this Exploring Idaho profile.
Jennifer Eisenhart reports.
Richard Zimmerman is one of the last in these parts to live off the land.
This is the house right here, first house I made years ago.
With not much more than his own 2 hands, he first built a house for himself, and then another house, and another house. One structure at a time, he soon became the proud builder of a unique village.
Here's a house made out of slab wood. Got the sawmill, $10 house. Cost $10 to make it.
From the outside, this whole place is an admirable achievement. But what makes Richard Zimmerman's handcrafted houses so very unique?
This is where I live in here.
Are the rooms he's etched out on the inside.
I said to myself, boy, this would make a good place to make a cave. There's a lot of big rocks around. I roll them up on the plank sometimes. Other times I'll bring them down, put mud behind. And I got the idea I'll make a mine out of it. Oh, heck, it's too good for a mine. I'll make a house out of it. Then I'll put a pantry there, right there. And then I'll make my bed in there. And then winter time, I got nothing to do. I'd make it a little bigger.
With a hammer and chisel, Richard Zimmerman tapped away the years. He ended up with the best dugout house this side of the Mississippi. There's a front room, a kitchen, a bedroom, and a back room.
This is where I cook right here.
If ever a cave were cozy, this is it.
If you want to live in a cave, you don't want to live in nothing else. There's an old spinning wheel in my parlor. Yeah, I gotta do this for the tourists here. I try to entertain a little bit here. I can see a barefoot boy with his willow fishing pole.
But picking a guitar never took Dugout Dick quite as far as picking out rocks.
Oh, it goes back here about 100 feet.
So when he's not entertaining, Dugout Dick spends his days deep underground, expanding the edges of his empire.
Well, it's sure getting hard, this stuff, you see. I don't think I ever want to live with anything else but this. Zechariah, he shall make a temple, and he shall bear the honor of it. See, I'm to make a temple.
This is your temple?
This is the temple part of it, yeah. I'll make another one here. Here's my goat.
I guess you could say Richard Zimmerman has found his own special little niche. Meanwhile, high above the mountain peaks, summer is the season, pilots stretch their wings. And over the Sawtooths of central Idaho, the view is spectacular.
Central Idaho's Sawtooth Mountains are so rugged and steep that Shoshone Indians used to say the land here rises straight up like the side of a tree. But getting above the 10,000-foot peaks, or above the trees for that matter, is never a problem for pilot Pete Piva. As a veteran in the backcountry, Pete has logged hundreds of hours over central Idaho's mountains.
I'll get in and then you follow me.
Okay.
There you go.
From small backcountry airports like this one near Stanley, Pete takes visitors along on the ride of a lifetime.
You get a lot of different responses. Some people, it scares the hell out of them, and others just can't believe it. They're either going to love it or hate it. That's what I've found.
With a liftoff like this, passengers usually find out right away. The small runway is grassy and bumpy. And see the Sawtooths in the distance? Pete is headed straight for them.
It's just amazing. I mean, the mountains are just so big. It's amazing. It's so exciting to be up in a plane and to see, down below. It feels so small.
The one thing they hear the most probably is that they can't believe you can fly in those narrow canyons.
All of a sudden, you're over just a ton of snow, and then there's trees popping up everywhere too, and the rock formations, they're so neat to see. It's amazing.
Those aerial tours of the Sawtooths fly through summer and into late fall.
Here they come, the white flag, it's the start.
What do you get when you combine 70 high-speed racing boats with about 3,000 excited fans under 90-degree summer sun?
Rock and roll! Yes!
You get the hottest boat races in Idaho.
Fire and go! Fire and go!
Some of the fastest machines on the water go full throttle every year around this 1.25-mile course on the Snake River. The crews come from all corners of the country to try their best in 8 different classes of racing.
There's 2 different sizes. There's a 275 that can have any type of carburation on it, as well as on the 314 that it's a single carburetor.
And that translates to really fast?
It translates to about 550, 560 horsepower at about 9,000 RPM. It's almost like a rock skipping across the water. If you're ever a little kid throwing rocks across the water, you kind of skip in these boats.
They go like that.
You might call this the Cracker Box Hop, and it speeds of up to 90 miles an hour. It's a wonder the crew of these Cracker Boxes don't get crushed to crumbs.
You'd think that your rear end would be tired from hitting the seat. The adrenaline level that you go through in a race of this nature, going that fast in a 15-foot boat, you don't feel a thing.
They gotta be careful with the weights up there.
After 10 laps of skips, hops, and jumps, California driver Jerry Ross finds himself out front.
All right. Very good. We enjoyed it. Fantastic.
The Burley Regatta speeds across the Snake River near Burley every July. And it just wouldn't be summer in Idaho without the foot-stomping good music of the annual festival in Yellow Pine. If you want to get back to the ways of the Old West and dance into the night while you're doing it, then make plans for the first weekend in August. That's when an interesting transformation takes place in this town, deep in the trees of southwest Idaho.
Jennifer Eisenhart has the story.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a great setting. It's out away from the city.
Oh, the scenery is terrific.
The clean, fresh air and the people. It still has the old Western atmosphere.
Yellow Pine is one of those few true Western towns. The main street is just a dirt road, and the town bar is also the only cafe. None of these homes even have telephones.
It is a sleepy little town.
So sleepy that most times of year, Yellow Pine is home to more dogs than people. So it's kind of strange that one weekend out of every year, Hundreds of people invade this tiny town.
Oh yeah, it gets bigger every year.
I can't believe how much it's grown.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
But she loves a lot more than just the scenery.
It's a lot of fun, you know, like going to a fiddle contest, except most everybody's playing harmonica here.
Everybody has a different style. Everybody has a different look.
From Danny Wilson's big bass to Eugene Bourne's Little Lady, 50 harmonica players perform on one stage in one weekend.
I have never saw so many in my life.
It's enough to perk the ears of the most casual observer.
That's amazing. We've sat every night to watched it, and I think my hands have been the highest.
They come from across the country, ready to jam at a moment's notice.
How quick are you on the draw?
Slow.
People call Ray Cole the gunslinger in the key of C, but Ray plays in almost any key. Eugene keeps his little lady on a tight leash. 24-pound test fishing line.
I don't know, but that keeps me from swallowing and getting into a lot of trouble.
Well, whether they play with two hands or no hands, or 5 toes to the beat.
It's all good. I like it all.
And it's the liveliest weekend all year round for a sleepy little town like Yellow Pine.
After a weekend with all that good music, I bet you'll want to go out and buy a harmonica yourself. Well, coming up next on the Best of Exploring Idaho, the Season of Change. Famous author Ernest Hemingway once described the beauty of Idaho's autumn season in a eulogy for a close friend. Best of all, he loved the fall, the leaves yellow on the cottonwoods, leaves floating in the trout streams, and above the hills, the high, blue, windless skies. The artist you are about to meet has spent his life painting these kinds of colorful fall scenes, but it never came easy. First, he was born colorblind, and then later he broke his painting hand. But as you will see, those were to be blessings in disguise.
Come on, chainsaw. I've spent my whole life here. I grew up along the river, right here on the Shoddy Ranch. It was the first ranch here on this side of the Snake. It was where my first memories were, playing in the barn, jumping off the haystack, playing along the river. My sister and I would run up and down the banks and play in the reeds, and it was a huge wilderness for us. I came back before Nellie Shoddy died. She was 92 years old, and I asked her if I could move back to where I grew up and use it for a studio. My heart always stayed here. Still love it. I look at art as a language. The more I understand, the more I enjoy it. It's frustrating at times just because it's so difficult. But the more I do it, the easier it becomes and the more rewarding it is. I've been told there's a sense of peacefulness or restfulness in the paintings. That, coupled with the color blindness, sets me free to not be controlled by the colors, but I choose my colors and I'm not inhibited by whether or not they're right or not. A lot of times there's more variety of color, I'm told, in my work than in other people's work. It's a challenge to do something and do it well. Whatever I do like a verse I memorized in the Bible: whatever you do, do it with your whole heart as unto the Lord. And that's how I approach my painting, and the passion grows as the work continues.
What a talent he is. Robert Moore lives and works along the Snake River near Buell in south central Idaho. Fall is the season of celebration for the more than 12 Native American tribes. Large festivals give thanks for the abundance of the earth and the health of the tribe. On the Shoshone-Bannock Reservation in southeast Idaho, it's an exuberant celebration marked by gifts, food, and dance. On the Shoshone-Bannock Reservation near Pocatello, Native American tradition displays brightly. Tribes from across the Northwest are gathering here, and over the next 4 days, they'll share crafts, knowledge, and skills in a celebration of culture.
We have to educate the public, and you could learn about Rome, but until you get there, you won't really be so enthused about reading it from black and white in a book. You have to be there, you have to be at the scene and feel how the Romans felt when they were there in order to really get the true sense of feeling.
Here, the true sense of native dance can be felt in a pounding rhythm. High-pitched song drives the footsteps of colorful dances. And soon, even the watcher feels the power of the powwow.
There are stories just about everything about the dance. The buffalo hunt dance, the sun dance. I mean, everything about life is related to the dance, and the music is the same way. There's all ages. When they're infant, some are carried on their back by their mother in a cradle board and the dance, and all the way up to the elders where they more or less hand down some of their stuff to the younger ones that are now growing up, and then they will continue on that tradition up to where they can become an elder.
So as the Shoshone-Bannock advance toward the 21st century, they take with them this kaleidoscope of the past.
You'll go on strong, you'll continue going on as we pass it down. Hopefully we would never lose it.
One of Idaho's greatest assets is the strength and variety of its people.
It's a new day on the Henry's Fork of the Snake River.
Probably the most beautiful river in the country.
And home to hundreds of species of wildlife.
It's a real spiritual renewal to be able to come to areas like this.
Endangered trumpeter swans glide through the marshes while sandhill cranes nest on the meadows. Nearby, the rich grasses provide food for moose. Here, the chain of nature lives undisturbed.
This is really a great place because you've got the Tetons in the background, and you've got all the large trees and the wildlife.
The excellent fishing on the Henry's Fork attracts anglers of all abilities. Most go home satisfied. But if you ask the people who have spent years with the sport, they'll tell you the rewards of fly fishing go much further than just catching fish.
It's satisfying your curiosity of what is under the water. The unknown becomes known when you catch the fish.
That unknown stretches for miles when the Henry's Fork winds through this box canyon. All along the way, fly fishermen line the banks.
How's it going today?
It's going great. We've been catching fish.
Others float the canyon in boats. And here on the water is where a husband and wife from Seattle are trying their luck.
It's fantastic. It's magnificent. I've done some other what are called, streams and creeks, and they certainly are nothing like this.
It's their first fishing trip on the Henry's Fork.
Really exciting.
And rewarding.
Hit, hit, hit. Way to go. Now reel, good. Oh, great. It's a nice big fish.
So it takes a while for Cheryl to bring him in.
Keep reeling. You're doing fine.
But finally, she wins the tug of war.
Way to go. Rainbow, wild rainbow.
The fish is let go, but Cheryl won't soon forget it.
Catching that fish was, there aren't any problems in the world anymore. That was great.
I think a lot of it's just being outside, being out in nature. Look at this scenery. It's incredible. And sometimes you catch fish. And that's a real bonus.
Fall marks the beginning of a favorite pastime in Idaho, big game hunts. Large herds of elk and deer attract hunters from across the country. And in the Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness in central Idaho, elk hunting is a challenge that requires as much endurance as skill.
Jennifer Eisenhart has the story.
The Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness, a large piece of mountain paradise located right in the middle of Idaho. It's known as the River of No Return Wilderness because early supply boats could run down its rivers, but the powerful waters erased any thoughts of an upstream return. Our group includes 3 hunters from Florida and Indiana, 2 local guides, 2 cooks, and our camera crew. We'll ride in a pack string of 25 horses and mules. And here's where we're headed, straight up. Altogether, it's an 18-mile ride to our base camp. That's about 8 hours by horse. We learn right away the riding is not easy.
Well, it's a tough ride, but you know, the whole reason we do this is we want to get away from people.
As we push on through the whiteness, our string takes on the look of a history book scene. The horses, the scenery, and the silently falling snow combine to transport us backwards in time.
I see pretty good length on at times, but he's behind so many trees that I couldn't get a read on him yet.
You know the elk is there, and you're really excited, and the adrenaline's pumping, and you're really all pumped up, and you're trying to find it, and you're trying to figure out where they're going to go.
All kind of elk beds right in front of us. Him and I'll keep working down these black trees toward where the bull is.
Right there is where he came down.
Right there. Yeah. Should have come right out here.
And then all of a sudden, we look up, and down the ridge, the elk is. We had a great shot, and Stanley does a great job. It's been a long time getting here. It's real tiring. But you know what? I'm not tired anymore. It's great.
Great outfitted hunting trips are offered throughout Idaho, and later in the show we'll tell you how to get more information. Still ahead on the best of Exploring Idaho. Unearthly landscapes peek through a blanket of white at Craters of the Moon National Monument. Plus, it's light as a feather and 15 feet deep. Backcountry skiers find themselves in a little bit of winter heaven. The best of Exploring Idaho, Seasons of the Gem State, will be right back. Delicate snowflakes frame every scene in white when winter covers Idaho. If ever there is a season for adventure in Idaho, it's winter. The fresh, cool layer of white snow turns Idaho into a whole new place to explore. And for backcountry skiers, that heavy snowfall turns Idaho's mountains into heaven on earth.
Jennifer Eisenhart reports.
Idaho's backcountry, where winter rules over thousands of miles of untouched land. Back here, away from the busy ski slopes, you'll find some of the best powder in the country, 15 feet deep and light as a feather. This is the stuff powder hounds dream of. But before you can cut any tracks, you'll need to hook up with one of these, your backcountry ticket to Powder Paradise. This snowcat treads up the mountain with ease. While winter goes by out the window, we drive ever deeper into the woods, and then end up on top of the world.
Whenever it's clear, everyone just loves it. They go crazy. It's just like today, you know, nice snow and sea. It's excellent.
Excellent is right. This is run number 1, and believe me...
Is everybody pretty much ready to ski then?
We're ready.
All right.
Just beware of one major pitfall. Drop down into this kind of powder, and you'll never want to ski anything else.
It's like floating. It's like floating on air. It's nothing that you'll ever get in a groomed run.
It means heaven. It's a fluffy, smooth, kind of floating feeling.
just a multiplier effect. It's only about 1,000,000 times better than the regular groomed run.
You just kind of float through it, and on the snowboard, you just kind of keep running on top of it. It was great. It was deep and steep.
It's super. Doesn't get any better.
When winter does its work, it can turn familiar landscapes into foreign scenery. That is definitely the case at Craters of the Moon National Monument in central Idaho. Remember the wildflowers of spring? We'll take a look at the contrast winter brings.
It's the off-season at Craters of the Moon. That means the usually black lava flows become fields of white. To some, these cold scenes may seem uninviting, but to cross-country skiers, it's a winter paradise.
I try to get out here a couple times a week.
Here is the Craters Loop Drive, a 7-mile cross-country ski trail that cuts right through the middle of the park. Groomed for track skis and skating skis with room to snowshoe.
When the snow is on the black lava, that's the prettiest time, because you've got the white contrasting with the black. And then you've got the green limber pines that sometimes are snow-covered. It's really beautiful. I think Craters of the Moon definitely has its best foot forward in the winter.
And Vicki should know, she works here year-round as the Chief of Resource Management. She and a group of park employees take us out for the day, because not one other skier is here. With the park all to ourselves, we focus on scenery that's unforgettable.
All those little bits of black sticking out from the white, and it was like, wow. I mean, if you're a photographer, to come out here, the contrasts are well worth the effort just to come to take pictures.
The best part of all this beauty is just about anyone can get out and see it. The ski trail is mostly flat with a few gradual slopes, and it's easy enough for beginners or children. So bring a lunch, a thermos full of hot chocolate, and your curiosity, because even in Craters off-season, you're in for a day of discovery.
Just incredible and more beautiful than I ever had expected that it would be. The contrast with the rocks and with the trees, it's just exquisite.
Coming out here in the winter is probably one of the more unique experiences you can have.
It's a place that I would want to come back again and again and again.
It's an undiscovered little gem of Idaho, winter skiing at Craters of the Moon.
Skiing isn't the only way to get out and enjoy all the snow. There's snowshoeing, snowmobiling, and here's an interesting idea, dog sledding. A couple in north central Idaho have devoted their lives to this training-intensive sport, and they say all the hard work is well worth it.
Here's more from Jennifer Eisenhart.
It's sunrise in the Seven Devils.
Look forward to coming out and enjoying this wonderful kingdom out here that we have.
These high mountain woods west of Riggins are perfect grounds for training. With fresh snow, a clear sky, and a chill in the air, it's a great morning to sled.
Guys ready to get going?
Roger. This Beaver.
Hi, Bruiser.
Come on, Zing Zing.
You're ready to go, aren't you, Foxy?
All the dogs are ready to go.
Oh, stand still. You're not that excited.
They've been through this before.
Big Daddy, and he's spoiled, too.
As champions in Idaho and the Northwest, they're some of the fastest runners around.
They go back to the breeding back in the 60s when they started dog sled racing in Alaska.
Strongest dog.
And they like to run. And you'll see that. They just love to run.
About 55 pounds of
Flying fury. We're ready. Hit it. After 10 or 15 miles, they get manageable. Before that, you're on the edge of extinction. Easy, guys, easy. You gotta try to keep on the trail. Getting around that corner, sometimes you wind up rolling 2 or 3 times.
Jim will run as many as 20 dogs at a time. Up and down these trails, they can cover 100 miles in a day.
You become one of them. They look at you. I can be going along, and if I start kicking and running behind that sled, they say, wow, he's working, we're working. Let's do this together. You got to be in good shape. You got to have the spirit, or else you won't make it in mushing. Because there's lots of work here. On by. Good dogs, good dogs. I'm part of them, they're part of me. We live together, we work together. They came out today and just fed back to us. They gave us all the energy they had. Revived your spirit, revived our soul, and off we go, sledding into the sunset.
They're incredible, and Jim and Jane race their dogs throughout the Northwest. They have won many dog sledding events. Here's a riddle for you. How can you find every form of recreation for every season in one place? It's available at the touch of a single button. That story next on the Best of Exploring Idaho. The next time you're planning a vacation, you may want to spend a little time at your computer first. Idaho's new Travel and Tourism Infonet can scan the state for the activities you choose. The Infonet website calls up easily on most home computers. In record time, the specially designed Internet site can access a myriad of travel information.
Say somebody wanted to go to Sun Valley. Here's basic information about Sun Valley. And again, we've got a link right to their page, which will bring up Sun Valley Resort. So then you can go in there and get, a lot more information about the place you want to go to.
And that's not all. Any user can book hotel and motel reservations, search for museums and historical sites, even pull up interactive maps. Altogether, there's about 2,000 pages of travel information. The website address for the Travel and Tourism Infonet is www.visitid.org. Also, if you're not a computer person and you'd like more information on any of the stories you've seen today, call for a copy of the Exploring Idaho Field Notes. Be sure to ask for show number 143, The Best of Exploring Idaho. We're so glad you could join us for this special look at the seasons of the Gem State. We'll see you again next time on Exploring Idaho.